This is a public service announcement to get pet insurance, and let me tell you why. The past day, I've noticed that my dog has been peeing weird. Yes, peeing. I feel like I say peeing weird, but okay. So when I knew he had to go to the bathroom, it would take him absolutely forever, and he would just stand there, and it'd be the slowest stream, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? There seems like there's a blockage or something. So I thought, okay, maybe he has a UTI, which is very uncommon in males, but that could be the case. Maybe nothing serious. So I gave it the day, thought it was okay. Then it's around 10 p.m. I take him out, and he had just drank a ton of water, and he goes to pee, and he can barely pee, and he's whimpering and seems like he's in a lot of pain. I immediately freak out. Of course, Google is going to tell you your dog is dying, but, I was like, okay, maybe bladder stones, something with the kidney. I consulted a few friends who have been in the industry, and they were like, listen, I don't want to make you spend an arm and a leg, but it's kind of better safe than sorry. So I take him to the emergency vet. By this point, it's already 11:30 at night, and I'm knowing I'm going to go into this probably spending at least a couple $100s. And to mention, the poor guy's so uncomfortable. He's trying to just pee in the parking lot grass area, and he's just having the worst time. We finally get called in. The doctor takes him back, sees him. He doesn't come back for another 30 minutes. I'm a nervous wreck. I want to get to the bottom of it. I'm thinking worst case scenario. She comes back in, says she's not completely sure, but she would like to do blood work, x-rays, all the good stuff. But she said Teddy was very nervous and she needed to sedate him in order to do so. By this point, I am realizing we are a lot of money deep into this, but I am obviously thinking something is seriously wrong. So she goes to do all of this, tells me it's going to take several hours and that I can leave and come back. She'll call me when I can come back. By this point, I go to my car. I'm bawling because I feel bad for my dog. I know he's probably so nervous and has to do all of these terrible tests, even though he's probably in the best hands. But of course, to me, he's being hurt. I go home. I try to fall asleep, and I actually do for a couple hours. Then I get a call at 3 a.m, and this call is, hey, he is fine. If you would like to come pick him up, you totally can. But what the doctor specified on this call made me realize that I overreacted, which is never a bad thing, but was going to cost me. Like for part 2 to see what happened to Teddy. Hello everyone, I know I'm the worst. I took the weekend off from TikTok, had no idea that video would get so many views and comments. So I will now just do part 2. Teddy is fine. He's 100% fine. So thank you for everyone for your concern and diagnosis, because it does mean a lot. Basically, if you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch it, but I was worried that Teddy might have had something relating to his kidney with like bladder stones. Long story short, after the vet called me, she basically said that he had inflammation in his penis, and she was able to detect that from simply getting his penis to come out and see that there was just some mild inflammation or irritation. My first thought was like, oh, thank God, obviously he's fine. But after thinking about it the next morning, I'm like, couldn't you have done that before you did x-rays, blood testing, all that good stuff? Not to say she didn't know what she was doing, and I'm very glad we checked off those boxes. But I kind of was like, okay. Once again, too, like I saw a lot of comments, I expected to spend at least $500. I get it. It's their time. It's the emergency vet. My bill was $1,700. I've had visits like this before. I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, did that need to be? Couldn't we have checked the penis first and then gone to x-rays and blood work if maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to be ignorant or not appreciate their work, because I really do appreciate an emergency vet to potentially take care of my dog if he had serious issues, but I'm also like, really? Also, all that to say, I did get my bill before I went home, and she ran over everything with me. So like I knew it was going to be $1,700, but I was terrified that something was wrong. And of course I was like, go ahead, do what you need to do. My only thing is sometimes I just feel like, I don't want to say they're scammers, but it's like, sometimes I just feel like they are just trying to get as much money out of you as possible from a bunch of different emergency vet visits that I've been to, not just this specific one. And like, you can pause to read everything. I get the prices on all of these, but once again, I'm just like, was this completely necessary when you said from the get-go he did look okay? And like, this turned out to be the most mild case ever. Okay, I'm gonna run out of time. Comments, I'm curious to see what you guys think about the whole situation.